It's finally here. Welcome to the Miracle Zone. More than a podcast, this is a sacred space for visionary leaders and heart-centered entrepreneurs who are ready to take off the masks, set aside the roles, and step into the raw, magical truth of what it actually means to lead in these transformational times. More than just building a business and a brand, you know that you're also here to share your medicine, lead a movement, and leave a legacy. If you've been craving next level conversations to get you to your next level, conversations that blend bold leadership, intuitive wisdom, and a touch of the miraculous, then you're in the right place. Because around here, we don't do things in a linear way. Whether you're already running a thriving business, leading a dream team, and impacting millions, or you're still on your way there, here we'll break free from the old ways of doing things and step into a multidimensional way of creating and leadership. Because in the Miracle Zone, we explore the intersection of business, leadership, and frequency. It's where strategy meets soul, and where visionary ideas become reality. And they happen in a snap. I'm Catarina, your host, guide, and bridge between the practical and the mystical in life and business. I'll share insights, channeled guidance, and heart-opening stories from pioneering leaders like you who are living at the edge and reshaping the way that we lead in this new world. So if you're ready to tap into your miracle frequency, to embrace the heart-led leadership that changes everything, then join me. Because this, my love, this is the Miracle Zone. I ask, I see, I know, I trust, I be. Welcome to the Miracle Zone podcast. And today I'm excited to share with you one of my rituals for receiving overflow in my business and in my life. And I'm actually holding up some rose petals here in case you're not watching on YouTube and you're just listening. And it's something that maybe if you are typically just listening on the podcast, you haven't seen, but I always have roses present here when I'm recording the podcast because I always have roses present in the home. And this is because I work with rose medicine when I'm setting up altars. And just, I love having them in the space. So before I jump into that, I just wanted to let you know that next week, I'm actually doing something really exciting and I'm hosting an event. It's a live event that you can join online and it's called Rituals for Receiving. And what I did is I invited other mentors, other receiving mentors to come and share their rituals with you. And so we're all going to come together and share the rituals and actually do them together and amplify them in this field by doing them together. So I will share the link for you for Rituals for Receiving and make sure you check that out and join me. All right. So it's going to be really powerful to do them together. If you can't join us live, there will be recordings. And if you are watching this later, then you can just check the links. And if the link is there, you can still access the recordings. And if not, then you can always reach out to support@catarinaandre.com and we'll be in touch with you about that. So I wanted to take a moment now to share one of my rituals with you, just to give you a little bit of a taste. And because it's something that I really do almost every week and something that I really noticed that I missed a lot when I didn't do it last month. So if you've been listening to the podcast, you know, I was on crutches last month and I wasn't able to move very easily. And because of that, I wasn't able to do this. And I really realized how important this ritual is in my life because I've been doing it for so long. The other thing I just want to mention is I am working with roses for this because, as I said, I do work with rose medicine. And I also work with roses in the Miracle Frequency Immersion, which I'll be offering later this month. And I'll share the links as well once the doors for that is open. And I work with roses because roses are one of the highest frequency flowers, which is really beautiful, powerful to work with in the home, in the energy and energetics of the home.
And I'm not going to go too into that now because I really want to focus on the ritual itself. Okay. But I'm working with roses, but you could do this with any flower. So basically, when the roses are coming to the end of their bloom, and I'm going to do it here, if you are watching, I will take the rose and grab the petals from the rose. So this one here. And you can take them all off at the same time by grabbing the head and just kind of twisting, or you can take them off petal by petal. I only realized that recently, by the way, that you could just boop, pop them all off like this. And then you can add your petals to wherever you're going to be storing them, if you will, just a container. I don't have anything particularly special, but I do use the same one every time. And as I do this, I'm giving thank you to this flower, this beautiful being, and for what it has brought to my life, to my home, to my space while it's been with me. And I'm also noticing what's left of the flower besides the petals as well, just presencing it, this part that gets forgotten. You can see pollen, the pistil. This is the feminine core of the flower, right? So just again, presencing that and really taking a moment to connect with the beauty of each rose. It's not just like a grabbing and depetaling, right? So bringing awareness to this plant, both to the petals, to the floral, the colorful parts, and also to these parts that usually don't get just that much attention. And just thank you. Thank you for blessing the space with your beauty. Thank you for blessing the space with your fragrance, your essence, your frequency. And I just, let that ripple through my body, that gratitude there. And, I can feel it. I can smell it. I'm smelling the petals. And then I will take these out and make offerings to the waters. So you can make offerings to the lands if you want, if there's no water near you, but I live close by to the ocean. And I was really intuitively guided to go and make offerings to the ocean. And it wasn't really a ritual that I concocted in advance. There was just this beautiful rock pool that I just always like to go to and meditate at. And I just built a relationship with this particular place and this connection. And one time I was at home with roses and it just came to me, why don't I make rose offerings here? And so there's this spot, this beautiful rock pool that I've been going to for almost, I would say at least 4 years now, on the coast in Portugal. And just one day I had this idea, why don't I take some of these rose petals that I have around the home and make offerings to the waters? And so again, you can do this with land. You can work with other flowers as well. Again, I prefer to work with rose medicine just because it's what I am infused in. It's very connected to the lineage of the rose, to Mother Mary, the Magdalenes, and many, many other priestessing lineages dating far back. And so that's why I choose to work with the rose. And it's just the one that called to me and felt the most true. Like I really wanted to make offerings of this. You can also make offerings of honey, sugar, milk, corn. Different cultures do different things. Different traditions do different things. It's really about feeling what feels true to me and what feels true to my lineage and to my heart. And this is really what felt true for me and my ancestry and for my heart. And it's also convenient and easy to do because I always have roses around. And so I don't have to make an extra effort when I want to do this ritual. It's ever present in my space. So I will prepare the petals. I'll place them with gratitude and attention into whatever container I'm taking. And I will take them down to this rock pool. Sometimes I have to hold them down and cover them because the wind is a bit wild and the petals are starting to flow everywhere. Sometimes I feel called to take my drum with me, or sometimes I'll take something to write with. And because sometimes light codes are coming through and I want to write them or sing them to the waters, it can look a little different every time, but the constant is taking the rose petals down to the rock pool. And sometimes on the way, there's this beautiful little chapel, an Our Lady chapel, and I'll pop by if I feel called. I don't do it every time, but I will just pay a visit there as well with the rose petals and then head over to the rock pool. And then when I arrive at the rock pool, I'll just reflect again, feeling gratitude for the roses, but also extend that gratitude out to all of the land, to the waters, taking in the scenery, taking in the breeze, taking in the sense of the salt water, noticing what the weather is like on that particular day. What is the tide like? What are the waves like? What am I noticing? And just really using my senses to get in a really, really present state. And that's really it. It's not a very fancy ritual. It's quite basic. It's more about the presence that I'm bringing to the ritual, this state of awareness, the state of gratitude. And then when I'm ready and feel called to, I will just take the petals and I will start sprinkling them onto the waters. Just again, thank you, thank you, thank you. And this is the gratitude. It feels like a deep bow. It's like a bow and sprinkle, bow and sprinkle. I'll just like dump them all at once. I don't throw them. Sometimes I need to if it's very windy. And I will just reflect and offer them to the water. Sometimes I'll sing as I do that. It really depends. But the undercurrent is really this gratitude. And sometimes it's really easy to feel grateful because of how life is in that moment. And sometimes I'm going through a challenging time and it takes everything within me to maintain this state of gratitude. Keep coming back to this gratitude. Keep coming back to this gratitude. And so the rose petals are really an anchor for that. It's like a coming back and releasing more gratitude, more gratitude. I don't usually go asking to receive things. So I don't really see this as a manifestation ritual. It's just something that I felt called to do intuitively, to go and make offerings to the waters. And it's something that a lot of different cultures, spiritual traditions, religions have as part as what's done to honor the spirits, the divine, the ancestors, the keepers of the land. So it doesn't necessarily need to be thought of as a receiving ritual or as a manifestation ritual, right? But it's an offering. In Bali, for example, it's something that you see being done every single day. So for me, it's just an offering. It has a very clean energy more than an asking for something. And I really want to emphasize that because I think that's what makes this ritual for receiving really, really unique is that it's not a conditional thing. It's not, I'm doing this thing to get that thing. I'm doing this thing to get that thing. I'm giving this thing to receive that thing, right? It's just cultivating this practice of honoring life, of honoring the sacred, of connecting to the miracles and the abundance that are everywhere and that's already here and that is already of the earth and has been here and of those that came before, that inherent, innate abundance that is everywhere and of the lands, right? We take that for granted. There is earth and lands and water. That alone is a miracle. And so I think what we want to avoid when we're trying to create this beautiful energy of receiving, both for ourselves and our businesses and our lives, is to not make it a formula. Again, I give this, I get that. I do this, I get that. I visualize this, I get that, right? But rather live in this state of honoring and gratitude in general, so that we're living in a state of receivership in general and an openness and an allowing in general, right? And I think that's one of the things that we miss out on a lot with manifestation rituals, because it's more like calculated or trying to control things I want this, so I'm going to do that to bring this about. It's like treating the universe like Santa Claus or something. And that's quite different than just, I'm so abundant and I'm so grateful that I'm just going to offer it. I'm just going to offer it. And of course, the energy is going to come back to me, of course, because there's just an overflow of energy. So you can do this kind of ritual without a request. You can also do it, obviously, with a request. So it's very common if you want to do a retreat somewhere that you go and make offerings with the land, you connect with the land, you get permissions with the land. There have been times where I'm opening up space in a program or a mastermind, and I will go and make offerings. It's not really, again, like a, please, please, please send me clients, but more of this is in gratitude for this creation and for those that I already know are coming, right? But on the whole, my invitation for you is to really sit with what it would look like to just go and offer for the sake of offering without asking for anything, without requesting anything, but just being in this state of overflow, overflow of abundance, overflow of gratitude. I always talk about being in the miracle zone, and that's what we do here on the Miracle Zone podcast. And I also talk about you being a miracle in motion, right? And you are a miracle magnet. So if you really own that, if you really embody that I'm a miracle in motion, I'm a miracle magnet, everywhere you walk is blessed, right? And so just like that, you can go to the waters and you bless the waters, or you go to the land, you walk in your yard and you're blessing the land, right? Because you are that blessing, you are that miracle. And so you're making an offering just because you are an offering. It's just an extension of your energy. It's an extension of your presence. It's an extension of who you are. It's like, oh, I'm by the waters. I'm blessing the waters. Might as well throw some beautiful rose petals here. Bless, bless. Right? So it's really about embodying that energy of overflow, of so much gratitude, so much overflow, because then it will just pour out of you naturally as an extension of the blessing that is you and your presence, the miracle that is you and is your presence. And then it's reflected back to you through receivership as well. But that's not why we do it. And that's not the intention of it. So it's a bit of a counterintuitive receiving ritual. And that's also why it's one of my favorite ones. So that's my invitation for you, is to do this now. This is a beautiful time. If you are watching this as it's being released, it's Taurus season. It's a beautiful time to do ritual with the earth and with flowers and beauty and grace. Also, Venus has just gone into Aries. And so it's a beautiful time to do this with passion, your love and gratitude exploding out of you, fiery even. So it's a counterintuitive ritual, but it's really powerful, especially now. But you can obviously do it anytime. And I usually do it every week because the flowers call for me. So that's my invitation to you. Again, you can work with roses or other flowers, whatever calls to you. Remember to really connect with them first. Remember to allow yourself to really, you can touch them, you can smell them, work with the senses and get in that feeling in your body and see how that goes for you. I also want to invite you again to join me for Rituals for Receiving. It is free for now. You can check it out in the links, and you join me and other receiving mentors for other rituals like this. It's all going to be different receiving rituals. Some of them more around wealth embodiment, some of them more around getting again in that space of receivership and alignment. It's going to be very, very powerful. I'm so excited for these guest mentors that are going to be joining us. I know all of them very well. Some of them have been my mentors. Some of them have been or are my clients. Some of them, or all of them actually, are dear friends. And we're going to create a really, really powerful space and magnetic field for receiving for everybody who's present and who watches the recordings. So if you can't join us live, you can sign up in the links and get the recordings. So be sure to check that out, and I will see you there.
Thank you for tuning in to the Miracle Zone. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a transmission. And if today's episode and conversation resonated, leave a review and share it with a fellow visionary leader. In the links, you can access my free Miracle Business Blueprint, the 7-part framework I use with my clients to create a thriving, scalable, and self-sustaining business that gives you more freedom, not less. Plus, you'll receive a guided process to identify where to focus first so you can spend more time leading in your miracle zone right away. Let's build the new as a collective for the collective. Together, we're not just creating miracles, we're living them. Until next time, stay in the miracle zone.